Hello, everybody, and as always, welcome back. It's round 9, and we're inching even closer to the end of the season. A season that has been a spectacular one so far in basically all the tiers. It's not been a bad season to watch, and hopefully, more to come. Williams have continued to dominate the UFRL constructors, and can they continue that in round 9? Just a few more rounds now for them to seal their constructors title. 4 rounds to go, and I'm sure their TP Pesci will be telling his team that for sure. He is leading the way in the championship with 250 points, the first to a quarter of 1,000 points in UFRL this season. Being a very, very strong driver. He does have his teammates Bakey and Warren also in championship fights in tier 2 and 3. I have to give you their numbers. Let's look at their numbers in tier 2. I haven't posted that, but everything will be posted right after the race constructors. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and constructors. But to give you this information, Cowley leads the way in tier 3, 5 points away from Bakey Gaming in P2, with Dog in P3. 210 for Cowley, 205 for Bakey, and Dog 196 as we head to tier 2. Warriner still leads the way with 210 points, gaining a lot on his rival Viking Fox, who didn't have the best race in Silverstone after damaging his wing and having to go into the pits to change it. He has 193 points, and Boy Knockout in P3 with 174. So Warriner currently leads his with 27 points. A good position to be with 4 rounds to go. All he has to do is continue his strong run. And we're here to tier 1 with Pesci with 250 points. His teammate Hazer with 191 and Declan with 186 points in P3. But as we head to constructors, Williams have 1,181 points. Mercedes in P2 with 928 and Red Bull clawing very close to them with 913 points. Can Red Bull overtake Mercedes at the end of this one today? Mr. P. Merck, Paco and ALC Mickey will definitely be going at it to see how that goes. But the first driver to come out of the pits, who is it going to be now? It was the Williams of Tahiza or Pesci. Looks like it's Pesci, our championship leader, wasting no time whatsoever to go out there and begin to set his lap here at Brazil, Sao Paulo. It's going to be a very interesting one, we know that for sure. This race never ever disappoints, especially in a tier like this, and a lot of them are really strong drivers and there's a lot of close fights all around the grid. 17 drivers on track today, 17 who are going to be competing to get the win. Most of them obviously, it's very difficult for them to get the win, but who wouldn't love to win a race? And there's yellow flags in front of the Ferrari here. Pesci now has begun his lap. We'll see what time. We are cogging the 2 apexes there, 3 apexes, very, very tight and making sure that he can maximize his time coming out of the center S's there as he heads down now to turn 4. What time does it say? It's 19.5 for the Williams driver. And he definitely will be setting the precedent for the rest of the drivers to go and beat. It's very difficult to beat the time that Pesci has set, but we know that when he does set this, as he's going off track here and he's going to bail on that time, I believe it might have not been a good enough time for him, or he was just not on the lap yet. He might just be doing 2 out laps. We're going to see now, most of them now on time. So we're going to head to the Aston Martin, who was next behind him. It is Bad Boy, another reserve race for Bad Boy. Still not a full-time driver, but he's going to give full points to Aston Martin this time around, as long as he doesn't retire. As a bunch of drivers are retiring from the session. That was a BAM Destroyer Drag and a Rise of Diving session, but 108.04 Bad Boy has Declan 107.1, a whole second faster than the man in P2. 108.7 for AL Simiki, 109.0 for Viva, 118 for Pesci, but he wasn't on his push lap. Like Simon goes to P3 with a 108.3. A good time from him. Hazer, the man in P2 in the championship, with a 108.8. He definitely will be looking at his teammates and be thinking, can I go for that championship? Obviously, he doesn't want his teammates to start losing points at this point, but he wouldn't have an issue if his teammate loses enough to go into P2 and he goes to win the championship, as long as they can keep hold of that constructor, because Hazer and Pesci both have one tier 1 championship each. I'll be looking to get a second one this time around. All Hazer needs to mount his fight is with DNF from his teammates, but DNF that he definitely wouldn't be hoping for. Boy knockout now with a 118.0, but he is currently on his quick lap. 110.2 for Parkour. She definitely can go faster than that and will decide to go another lap to go faster than that. As Pesci crosses the line now, will he go to the top? Not enough to beat Declan, our last week's race winner, his first race win in tier 1. He has been looking for that for a while now, and he finally got it at Spa last week, as Pesci goes in P2 with a 107.2, a tenth and a half behind the man in P1. Pesci will definitely be going for another push to get that fastest lap. We do not get the fastest lap point, but it's always best to start at the top, as Merck goes to P4 108.2, a good time from the Mercedes there. His Viking up to P3 108.0, unbelievable. That's a tier 2 driver, by the way. Up to P3 he goes, as he is now in the top 3 of this, and he is one of the ones who are good in Brazil. I've seen him race in Brazil a bunch of times. He does have the pace. Boy knockout 108.1, another tier 2 driver, a championship contender in tier 2, currently in P3 in the championship. Has had a few unlucky moments this season with DNFs and disconnections. He could have definitely be up there, giving Warren more of a problem, as 4 drivers now have retired from this race. I believe it's quali bans and engine pens that these drivers are serving. That's why they have retired from this session. But we'll see. These drivers finish at the end of their laps. Mr. P and Rusted Bolt, the last 2 drivers, still yet to set the time as Rusted Bolt moving out the way. It looks like he invalidated on the time that he was currently on, and Mr. P will be starting his push lap now. Simon goes up to P6 with a 108.2. Parkour has improved her time with 108.2 and is in P7 here. Lots of 108, as you can see, only 2 drivers being able to get into the 107s. And Declan is back out now, and he will try to improve that time to make it harder for Pesci to beat the time that he is set. And this is an interesting qualifying already. And that is your top 11 for now. Hazer will definitely be looking to improve on that time. That is not a strong tier 1 time for, especially for a driver like him. So at least 4-5 tenths of an improvement Hazer should have in his car. Alright, 2 drivers still yet to set, Mr. P and Rusted Bolt. As Rusted Bolt, both of them will be finishing their laps now. Keeping very tight to the corner here as Mr. P goes up to P3. A great time from him. Rusted Bolt will get ahead of the Mercedes up to P9. Rusted Bolt goes, and lovely stuff from the Mercedes of Mr. P as he puts himself into that top 3. He's charging at the end of this tier 1 championship, showing why he has a lot of experience, especially racing in tier 1, as he continues his chance to keep fighting with the best of the best. Viking also up there trying to fight with the best of the best. He had a great race in the 100% here, getting a podium in that one. We'll see exactly what he can do on this one. Hazer still down in P13. You do expect more from him now, but he's finishing a lap already 1.4 seconds up on his current lap. Ooh, and that is brilliant from him. It looks like he's going to get a 107.4 at the end of this one. He might just push down the Mercedes of Mr. P out of the P3, and Hazer is going to go right behind his teammates with a 107.4, 2 tenths behind his teammate in P2, and the Williams continue their domination at the top as Hazer and Pesci are absolutely cruising and absolutely enjoying themselves. They will continue their championship fight with Declan in this one, but Declan still at the top with that provisional pole position. Pesci now will be starting his next push lap, and can he knock off that kick Sauber from the front of the grid here in qualifying? As there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers on track, and they will all be going into the pit. Some are currently on laps, but Pesci will be going. Pesci is on the lap, but the rest of them will be definitely be going to the pit unless Hazer is looking to push one more time. As you can see, he has recharged back to 100%. I might be looking for another push lap to improve. And what is sits on? Alright. That's a purple sector for Bad Boy, improving on his time as he's coming out of the final corner now, straight down the straight and to the start finish line. Where can he put his car up to? It's going to be P4 for Bad Boy. 107.6. That's it. Now 4 drivers into the 107s. 4 drivers that you do expect to be up there are now up there with 107s. And we'll see if Mr. P, the Mercedes, who's the closest, and Viking, 2 closest now into the 107s, can join that group of drivers as Declan behind the Aston Martin there of Bad Boy. Was he on the lap there, Declan? No, he's not on the lap, so just warming up his tires. So no blocking from the Aston Martin of Bad Boy, who definitely doesn't want to be blocking driver, especially the fact that he's a reserve and you do not want to affect other drivers too much when you are just reserving. As Parkour now with a 1:08.1, she does improve on her time, but will stay in P8 for the Red Bull here. There's 7 minutes to go here in qualifying. Each of the drivers will have at least 1 or 2 more opportunities to improve their times. 4 drivers out of this one. Destroyer Jack will start at the back with JCFC in front of him. Him and his teammate Bam in P15. Arise in P14. The 2 drivers can serve engine pens in 1 week, so I'm sure one of them out of the 2 Alpines either DNF'd or has a penalty to serve, a quali ban to serve. This one, probably it's Bam, because I don't remember Destroyer Jack getting into any incident in the last few races. So probably Bam is the one serving the quali ban, and Destroyer Jack will be serving the engine penalty. Improving on his time, Declan, already as he gets to the first sector. 2 sectors to go now. And can Declan set the time? That will be too much for Pesci to beat, because as you can see, Pesci did improve. Now 400th of a second behind Declan, but not enough to put his car in P1. Declan feeling the mojo of winning last week's race. Can he continue that strong form and get another win here at Brazil? He did a very good job in 100% here, absolutely blowing the field away. Winning Brazil twice this season in the Inter and the 100% tier. Can he do it one more time now in Tier 1? And I believe he'll be one of the first drivers to win the same race 3 times in 1 season. That's 106.8 for Deck, up to 106 now. Unbelievable time from Declan there. 106. I've never seen that in UFRL. That is absolutely brilliant from the kick Sauber, as there's yellow flags from his teammates going on to the grass there. The Red Bull will be going through. I believe that's ARC Mickey will be looking to improve his time down in P13, 4/10 up on his current time, and that means he will be going ahead of Viva in P12. Not enough to get ahead of the Mercedes. He will need more of an improvement if he wants to do so, as he heads down the straight using a lot of his battery there and goes ahead of the Aston Martin of Viva. P12 for ARC Mickey. But look at Declan at the top with a 106.8. Absolutely stonking lap. Can Pesci have an answer to what Declan just did, or is he just going to give up and sit in the pits? No, he doesn't really need to beat that time, because he's currently in a great position to start the race, but his teammate will definitely be a problem, as he will be trying to improve his time and beat Pesci, getting into the front row of the grid, as they will have one more opportunity now, all the drivers, to improve the times that they sit on, as Viking Fox does improve his time. 107.9 for Viking but stay in P5 for him. Was they both also improving his time? 107.9 for him, and there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers into the 107s. 6 actually, but Declan into 106, and he's the only one into 106. And here we go, they're all coming out now for their final push on this one. Boy Knockouts is going to do another great job for his team here in tier 1, and he definitely knows that a few reserves on track like AL Simiki, Boy Knockout, Viking Fox that will be fighting very hard now to get strong points for their collective teams. So Hazer, can he improve on his time? Can he beat the time that his teammate has set? It's going to be a 107. Yes, he does. 107 flat for Hazer. It's a 107.088. Up to P2 he goes. He knocks down his teammate to the second row of the grid. Still not enough to beat Declan in front. I don't believe anybody's going to have enough to beat that Kickstarter in front. That time that he set is just absolutely strong there from the Kickstarter of Declan. And we'll see if Pesci is just going to give up on this one, or will he come out one more time and use the last soft tires that he has on. Probably not the best option to do so, as it might just be better to start on the second row of the grid, especially when you're leading the championship by that much. No need to push too hard in qualifying, as Parkour doesn't improve on her time and is going to stay down in P. Oh, actually, she's just starting a lap. She wasn't an out lap, and we'll see exactly what she can get. Is she going to be improving that first sector? Doesn't look like she's going to. Already off there, missing the first 2 apexes. It looks like she's just on an out lap on this one. She might just be doing 2 out laps. The Red Bull trying to burn as much fuel as she can. Going into the pits now, Hazer. That will be the end of his qualifying. P2 for now, and we'll see if anybody else can knock him down from where he currently sits at, as all the drivers now that are out are going to be out on laps, and most of them are in the pits. We'll see if they will come out for one more in this one with 2.2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Looks like a bunch of them are just not going to come out here in qualifying again. Boy Knockout though is about to start, or was he on a lap that did he? It looks like he might have invalidated, but he will go for another push lap on this one. Or is that going to be a pit lane? It's going to be pit lane for Boy Knockout. End of his qualifying. P8 for the Visa RB goes into the pits. The Aston Martin of Viva about to start his final push lap of this one, or actually he's just on still on an out lap here. So they're just trying to burn as much fuel as they can to get that car as light as they can, as Parkour now has done her 2 out laps, and she will be going for a push lap on this one. Going through none through these corners, obviously will be changing to overtake as she heads down the straight here. Still on none. Interesting from Parkour. She might just be going for another out lap on this one. And these are interesting tactics from all these drivers, as the 2 Mercedes are out now, currently sitting in P7 and P11. And looking to get times quicker than that. Looking to chase down the Williams while trying to get away from the Red Bulls behind. And it's going to be a difficult one, but definitely going to have to do that. And Mr. P and Merck will be going on their laps now. We'll be coordinating laps together, as Merck behind will be lucky enough to get the slipstream from his teammate, and they will begin their laps now. Simon will be behind them, not too close to them, but close enough that he might just be able to get a little bit of a slipstream. To the Aston Martin of Viva starting his push lap now, headed to the Red Bulls behind. Will they be doing the same tactics as the Mercedes? But Parkour now, is she finishing a lap here? No, it doesn't look like she's about to start a lap, but not the best ARS to start a lap with. Same thing as her teammate. We'll see if they can improve. The Kickstarter of Declan is out there one more time, and he's also trying to improve on his time. Hazer and Pesci are trying to beat the time that Declan said. Most of these teammates now trying to work together to get that slipstream for the driver that might not have as much pace as his teammate in front. It looks like there was a spinner coming out of turn 1 as Viking Fox on a 107.9. We'll see if he can improve. Going out, Boy Knockout out of the session. Looks like he made a mistake and has DNF now out of the session for Boy Knockout. It's going to be P8 for him. It can't be an improvement for Visa RB. The Mercedes will cross the line. P4 for Mr. P and P6 for Mr. P and Merck will go P4. It looks like that slipstream that he got behind his teammate helped him a lot, and it's going to be a 108.0 for Simon, who's going to finish up in P10. If anybody can't have a say about that, he will be starting in the top 10. Only P12 for Viva with a 108.1. Not a bad time from him, as he will be in a Red Bull sandwich if they do not improve on their time. Bad Boy goes up to P4 now, knocks down the Mercedes. Going to be 5 and 6 for the Mercedes. The Williams now will be next, as Pesci beats his teammate, not enough to beat Declan once again. That's the Haas of Viking Fox will be going into the pits. That will be the end of his qualifying. We'll have to start behind both Mercedes cars, as the kick salva of Declan doesn't improve on his time. Oh, is going for a push up now, maybe. I don't think he is. That will be the end of his qualifying. Pole position for Declan here, and nobody can beat that time. That will be the end of qualifying. It's going to be Declan at the top, with Pesci in P2 and Hazer in P3. Will start a Williams podium in quali, and can they finish like that with a double podium again? They've gotten multiple this season in the race, and we'll see exactly how that goes. That's the end of qualifying, which has been a very, very good one. Bad Boy will start in P4 for the Aston Martin. The Mercedes will start together at 5 and 6, and behind them will be Viking Fox. There you go. 700th of a second that Pesci beats the kick salva of Declan. And a great time for the boat drivers, the only ones into the 106s. And we'll be back in 5 minutes when the race resumes here at Sao Paulo, round 9 in Tier 1. All right, people. The countdown has finished. And the information I'm getting is that there might be. The information that I'm getting is that there might be rain right at the end of the race. And that is very interesting to listen to. So, what would the strategy this driver go for? Would they go for hards to the end? We'll see. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And his foot to the floor and go, go, go as lights are out. Declan has DNF'd. Declan has DNF'd. What's going on here? Oh, somebody spawned. Bam spawned. Declan is out of the race. Right at the start. I don't know where that came from. Looks like the game just threw him out. I don't know if that was going to be a red flag, but we'll continue for now. Destroyer Drac already up to P1. I'm getting this one. There's just a lot of stuff happening. Let me just go up to Pesci in front, who leads the way currently in front of Bad Boy and Hazer, with Mr. P and Mark right behind the both drivers. I'll keep watching the stream to see if a red flag is thrown because of what happened to Declan, because that's very, very unfortunate for the kick salva of Declan. But Pesci is going to keep leading the way now, and will they pull away from the rest of the drivers? Everybody's still in the pack, clean so far right at the start. Bam losing places, dropping down to P16. His teammate Destroyer Drac in P30. Looked like he was at the top there because the game was just a little bit confused after Declan got kicked out. But Hazer now already losing time to the 2 drivers in front. Know what he will need. He can use that DRS to defend from the drivers behind him as they finish lap 1 on this one. That's very unfortunate there. Maybe Declan will have a say. Maybe you can speak to the admins and see if they can red flag this one so we can restart. But we keep going on this one. 4 and 5 for the Mercedes, who are going to be defending from drivers behind. Let's put it in tires on. As you can see, oh wow, Declan just left the session. So why would the game DNF him if he hadn't left the session? I understand if he left, like, when you just leave the session and the game DNFs you. But he just left the session. Did he click retire on his own? Maybe he clicked retire on his own. Maybe we're not trying to resume, but how likely is that? As Hazer has lost places now, dropping down to P9 as the Williams has already been unfortunate at the start of this race, already down to P9 after spinning, and the 2 Mercedes will take advantage of that. They are not in the DRS of the drivers in front, so they will be leading this pack. Bad Boy and Pesci will be their own separate fight on this one, as there's confusion, as you can see. 1 minute, this is just very confusing. This lobby is a little bit glitchy right now. Oh, here we go, as they cross the line. That didn't happen again. Thank you. I was about to say, how am I going to handle that now, not knowing what exactly is happening there, as Parkour has been overtaken by JCFC. Looks like she might have lost some places at the start of this race. AFC Mickey overtaking the Mercedes of Mark and Mr. P, switching places there, as Simon has now been overtaken by Boy Knockout, who tried to switch back, but it's not complete. Hazer is losing even more places now as Destroyer Drac takes it from him after the Red Bull. But JCFC going off track there. Parkour will take advantage of his compromise and will move up to P14. I don't know what happened to JC there. They might have been going side by side, or he might have just made a mistake all on his own. As Pesci and Bad Boy will continue to pull away from the rest of the pack. The Mercedes will try to defend themselves from the drivers behind them. We'll see exactly what they can do on that one. Viking Fox still in a good position here. The Boy Knockout has lost the DRS to the drivers in front, so he is now going to be started the second pack. The third pack on this one, as Mr. P and Merck continue to switch places, continuing to defend from the Visa RB of Rusted Bolt behind, who is always up there giving a fight, and he's going to be up there, as Hazer now has gotten back past Destroyer Drac in the Alpine up to P11. Hazer goes. Not the greatest start for the Williams driver, and he will have to recover after that one. Looking on the inside, Rusted Bolt as the Mercedes switch. He tried to follow one of the Mercedes too, but nothing doing, as it will continue to stagger and continue to defend from Rusted Bolt behind. As there are 4 laps in now, as you can see, the clouds are already getting dark, and the information I got is that there's going to be rain in this one. Yeah, nah, game didn't let me take control. Game instant retired me at the start. Joke of the game. Oh my god. That's just really, really sad. That's just very unfortunate. I don't know, man. The red flag rules are like 1, 2, 3 drivers. I mean, like 3 drivers out of the session that will red flag you. But the fact that it's just you is very difficult for us to do so. But Busted Bolt, after a difficulty trying to get past the Mercedes, will try it now with the DRS. They are going to stagger once again, going side by side, both Mercedes. But he's going to go around the outside of Merc and take that place from one of the Mercedes. Beautiful move from Rusted Bolt, as his next target now is going to be Mr. P, his teammate, getting the first penalty with 3-second penalty in this one. More DRS for him there, as Viking Fox was trying it on the inside of Merc there, but he's going to hold it back. And they're going to go side by side now, the Mercedes and the Visa RB, but it's no space whatsoever. Viking trying to get on the inside, looking to pull, get the Mercedes off his line there, but he keeps it clean. Make sure that Viking Fox doesn't put him off, as Boy Knockout now trying to get back into the 4 drivers in front to get that DRS to defend from Simon behind. Oh, Simon, another tier 2 driver. I didn't clock that. Another tier 2 driver that's reserving this race. As you can see, all the tier 2 drivers 6, 7, 8, and 9 all reserving in this race. It's ironic that they are all together in this one, but as you can see, top 9 starting on the medium tires. Hard for Hazer and Viva. Mediums for Destroyer Drag. Hard for Parkour. Soft tire for Arise. The only driver starting on the soft. Deck was going to start on the soft before the unfortunate DNF. But Rusted Bolt now has cleared both Mercedes, and he can now chase the drivers in front. And he does have the pace to claw them to the drivers in front. Maybe the Mercedes will work together with him here to try and get up to them, as Mr. P now goes side by side with him to take that place from Rusted Bolt up to P4. Viking Fox, who has the best view of this one and will continue to follow them. Arise now with a 3-second penalty, the Ferrari. That's Boy Knockout and Destroyer. Sorry, Parkour and Destroyer Drag. Destroyer Drag losing a few places. They look like he might have made a mistake. And down to P14 he goes. Let's give the drivers at the back a little bit of screen time, as they definitely will be fighting here. Arise on those soft tires will have to start making the places, because his tires in any lap now will start to fall off, and it will be very difficult for him to make the overtakes on the drivers in front. His strategy will be to go on the hard and go long in this one, but the rain will come sometime in this race. Declan, I know Declan will not be happy with what has happened here, as Mercedes now has been double overtaken by Merc and Rusted Bolt. Merc will look to the inside, but to the inside nothing doing. He now will have the better line coming out of this one, takes the inside, takes the outside, and now will have that DRS heading down into 4, as Viking Fox will take advantage of it. Side by side he goes with Mr. P and the Haas and the Mercedes, as Viking Fox will pull out of that one. Mr. P will go a little bit off track. They are still wheel to wheel on this one, and he will be ahead as they head to the corner, as the Mercedes will keep that place in P5, but losing a little bit of time to Rusted Bolt and Merc in front. Not exactly what they will want here, but they will try to get back to them. Boy Knocker now has finally caught up to the drivers in front, and he can rejoin the pack. They all can rejoin that pack in front, as ARC Mickey very close to Simon here, but couldn't get that move completed. The drivers on the hand tires will be looking to go onto the rain, but that's going to be Hazer, Viva, and Parkour. We'll see how that is going to work out for them, because they'll definitely be going to the rain begins. But ARC Mickey now will be gaining on Simon, will be switching to the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel as they head to turn 1, but we're going to head to the front first, as Rusted Bolt takes it from the Mercedes of Merc. ARC Mickey and Simon dives down the inside of the Visa RB. They make a little bit of contact, wheel to wheel they go. Can the Red Bull behind of ARC Mickey take advantage of this? He has the Williams on his inside. The Williams will go 3 cars taken by Hazer. Triple overtake from the Williams. He moves from P10 all the way to P7 as they were scrabbling in front of him. His experience knew where to put his car, and his experience gets him up to P7. Unbelievable from Hazer, as he now can try to pull up to Viking Fox, as 1.5 seconds now he's behind them. Will not have that DRS, but the hard tires are starting to kick in on this one, and he will be in the optimal strategy, as behind him Simon and ARC Mickey are going at it with Boy Knockout. and they will be using Hazard's pace to try and catch up to these 3 drivers in front, 4 drivers in front, as Merck is leading the way as he's pulling away from Rusted Bolt. Now Rusted Bolt now wouldn't have enough to get past him, but will have enough DRS to keep Mr. P behind. Viking Fox still doing a good job now to keep close to the 3 drivers in front. Pesci and Bad Boy are just running away with this one, so the win looks like it's going to be between those 2 drivers in front, as Simon and Boy Knockout still going at it. Boy Knockout takes the outside and takes the kick Sauber up to P8 he goes, and now ALC Mickey will try to take advantage of that. Rusted Bolt gets ahead of the Mercedes of Merck as they will keep switching in front. Parkour now 110 behind Viva, who is up to P11 on this one. 3-second penalty for Pesci, and Bad Boy now is set to win this race if he can just keep his car clean. All he has to do, that's all he has to do on this one. That's a little bit of a lump of smoke there coming out from the Aston Martin. Makes a little bit of a mistake. Pesci's going to slide by him, but he can't keep in the DRS of the Williams behind. A little bit of an advantage for him there. Even if he did make the mistake, he's going to have the DRS now to fly back ahead of Pesci on that one. And here we go now. He's going to use the DRS. He's not going to use the ERS. He's going to be gaining on that Williams. He's going to give the defensive line to Bad Boy, who tries to take it on the inside. He's going to hold it back. Has another opportunity as they head to the next DRS zone. Up to turn 4, they will go. The Aston Martin very close to the championship leader here. I see he's going to be gaining on Pesci. Will Pesci go for the defense on this one? He wouldn't. Inside line for Bad Boy and inside line for the lead of the race, as Merck and Mr. P still putting pressure on the Visa RB, who've done a good job now to keep them behind. Hazer, Boy Knockout getting ahead of the Williams of Hazer as they are losing time to drivers in front, as Bad Boy and Pesci are going side by side here into turn 6, and they were wheel to wheel. Then looks like no contact was made, and they're going to be having brilliant racing between these two. They're not going to make it easy for themselves here, as they're going to keep fighting. 3-second penalty for Simon on this one, and would Pesci take the lead back as they head to turn 1 with the DRS? We'll see exactly what is going to go on there. There we go now. Down the straight he goes and activating his DRS for sure, but will he use his DRS now to get ahead of the Aston Martin? He wouldn't need it. He's going to go for the inside, almost making contact with the Aston Martin there, but taking back the lead of this race. Rusted Bolt now under pressure from Merck, who's very close to the Visa RB now. He's going to set it up as they head to turn 4, and he's going to have that DRS, and he's going to have his teammates behind him. Viking Fox now has fallen out of the DRS of the drivers in front, so that means he's going to be under pressure from the drivers behind, who are definitely going to start clawing him in lap by lap as Bam gets past KCFC behind. There we go. Viking Fox 1.1 seconds. He will try to push back into that DRS. Would not be easy, as Destroyer Drag now has gotten past Parkour. Into P12 he goes, as a lot of these drivers are still close together, and Viking Fox now still pushing hard now and has now gotten back into the DRS of the 3 drivers in front. Perfect position that he would like to be in. As Bad Boy down, will Bad Boy take back the lead of the race on this one, as these drivers now deciding not to fight as hard as they did a lap ago going into turn 6, because they know that they have to just keep pulling away from the drivers behind to make sure that when the strategy times come, when the pit stop time comes, there's not going to be any problem, as Bad Boy takes back the lead of the race. Are there going to be any more overtakes? Yes, as Hazer gets past Boy Knockout, who Simon also decides to go on the inside here. He decides to go on the inside. It's a dive for Simon, almost making contact with the Williams. The switchback is tried by Boy Knockout. Simon is going to push him off track. ALC Mickey is going to take advantage of that. Up to P8 he goes. Yellow flags at the back. Someone is out of the race. Someone is into the wall. Is Destroyer Drag into the wall. Looks like he might have made a mistake. Loss of wing there for the Alpine, and he definitely has to go into the pits. No safety car or virtual safety car to save the Alpine of Destroyer Drag there. But Simon diving on the inside of Boy Knockout. Not the best move there, but he did complete it. But after a few corners after, it looked like he pushed off the Visa RB of Boy Knockout. I know how Simon is. I've raced him before. He's one driver who is not too afraid to have his elbows out, and that is exactly what he did there. Viking Fox now get back into the DRS, but has lost it once again. It's very difficult to keep close to those tier 1 drivers in front, but he's doing a good job so far as Merck now has taken that P3 back from Rusted Bolt. These three will continue to work together and pull away from the rest behind them. But ALC making now up to P8 and Pesci losing the lead once again from Bad Boy. But it just looks like these two will continue to switch here, not fighting too hard. They are not still pulling too far away from the drivers behind. They have been 5.4 seconds away from them for the last few laps now, and they will continue to be 5.4 seconds away from them as long as Rusted Bolt and Merck can keep working together seamlessly. Make sure that they're not too far away. ALC Mickey though having a strong race on this one, and Hazer is going to be his next target after making 2 overtakes as Simon and Boynoka were going at it. Viva now to P9 as he's on those hard tires. His tires are starting to kick in on this one. In a few laps, the mediums will have to start thinking of that pit stop. The clouds now have cleared and the sun is out on this one. Will that rain come in this race? I don't know. I am not too sure. But the drivers will have no information about that one, and we'll see what strategy they decide to go for. 14 laps we've done on this one as Bad Boy in front, losing the lead up back to Pesci and Rusted Bolt moving up to P3 in this one as ALC making out and finally gets ahead of the Williams of Hazer up to P7 to go as he's having a very strong race here. Let's see position changes for these drivers. 3-second penalty now for Hazer as both Williams drivers have that 3-second penalty. 6 places made from ALC, 4 places made from Rusted Bolt. And those two drivers are the drivers with the most places made at the start of this one. As ALC having a very strong race here. Up to P7 he is now as he leads this pack. Let's head back to tires. As Viking Fox now losing even more time to the drivers in front, and this when ALC and Hazer will start to claw him in. 1.9 seconds now that they're behind that has driver. In a few laps they will be in his DRS zone as Hazer and Viva with the hard tires, and we'll see if their strategy will work. These two did pull off a long medium strategy in Mexico as they kept going for a long time. Can they do it once again? Can they work together once again to have a strong race here as Merck has now been overtaken by Rusted Bolt, who moves on to PT. Viking Fox, the first driver to go into the pits, as Boy Knockout will be following him. Simon will be following him. They're all going to be going into the pits now to take off those medium tires. It's going to be hard compound tires to the end of this race for sure, as 3 drivers now deciding they will be the first to do those pit stop as Bad Boy will try it around the outside of Pesci here. Will Pesci fight it too hard? They're still going to be going wheel to wheel. Pesci doesn't fight it too hard. What a move from the Aston Martin of Bad Boy, who takes the lead of this race. Doesn't need the DRS as he slides his way back past our championship leader. Merck and Mr. P still in a strong position here as they are 5 seconds away from ALC behind, and that is exactly what the Mercedes driver duo will need here as Merck's first race back after his race ban, having a strong one in this one, and we're looking to finish this race as strong as possible. Still putting pressure on the Rusted Bolt in the Visa RB, who's doing a good job to withstand that pressure from the drivers behind. ALC and Hazer switching before the DRS, so that means ALC is going to have that DRS to attack Hazer as they go to turn 1. Will Hazer be going into the pits on this one? No, he's going to keep the defensive line. Almost goes onto the line of ALC. Viva is going to take that position from Hazer as he almost goes into the line of ALC. Paco has joined this fight. She's on those hard tires. Another driver deciding to go on the hard tire strategy as Pesci has gone into the pits now. Merck into the pits. Hard tires for the 2 drivers and a few more pit stops on this one. Advice for going for the hard tires. And with the hard tire compound drivers, how long will they go on this one with 20 laps to go? When will they be going to the pits for the mediums? I believe that will probably be on lap 20, lap 21 maybe, so they can do 15, 16 laps on those medium tires. Will the rain ever come is the question. I did get that information, but maybe that information is going to be void because the rain might not come in this one, as Mr. P now has lost the DRS to Rusted Bolt in front. He definitely now will have to think about the pit stop, because after losing that DRS, you are going to lose the pace. Rusted Bolt staying out. Mr. P will come in on this one, and there you go. He's going to come into the pit. No, not too fast there, and he does it. Get that 10-second penalty. Very good pit stop from him. Hazer, Viva, the hard tire runners staying out in this one, and this when they will be hoping for a beautiful safety car, a well-timed safety car, as his yellow flags at the back. Is Destroyer Jack once again, but he's not going to bring out the safety car, and he can continue on this one as Merc and Mr. P. The P coming out on this one. Where will his teammate be when it comes to him? And he is not in that DRS of Merc in front. Behind him is going to have Bam on the old tires and Viking Fox, who is now going to be behind Bam. How much time will he lose trying to clear the Alpine in front? As you can see, he's struggling on those old medium tires, as only 3 drivers now are still out there on those medium tires. Rusted Bolt definitely will be going for his pit stop on this one, and there'll be no better time to go into the pits now, because he will start to lose, he'll start to bleed the time to the drivers that he was fighting with. Will it be another lap for Rusted Bolt? Yes, it's going to be. He's risking it, and does he believe he has that pace to make sure that the Mercedes, when he does come into the pits, are still around that DRS zone of him? As switching, Hazer and Viva now taking that place from Hazer up to P2. He was looking to the outside and decided that the space was on the inside. ALC Mickey and Parkour behind Viva and Hazer. Now the 2 Red Bulls can work together here. ALC Mickey on those old mediums, if he can just stay close to the drivers in front, 10-second penalty for speeding to the pit lane, he might just be able to extend his medium tires as long as he is looking to do so. All he has to do is keep these 3 drivers close to him here. As you can see, Parkour's looking for the inside there, but nothing doing at ALC right behind them now. Here we go. Bad Boy is now behind Pesci. Both drivers are going to be catching up to the 3 drivers in front. And how much time would they lose? They're definitely going to lose time, because those drivers in front are not coming in yet. How long will it take Pesci and Bad Boy to get ahead of them? Maybe that would give Merc and Mr. P the opportunity to start to get close to Bad Boy and Pesci, who have been 5.5 seconds away from the 3 drivers that were behind them. Rusted Bolt, Merc and Mr. P for most of this race. And now Pesci and Bad Boy have 3 obstacles as Hazer goes into the pit. 3 obstacles in front of the 2 race leaders in this one. Bad Boy now with the fastest lap of a 109.7. Pesci is going to be the first now. Championship leader, has the traction, has the grip coming out of this corner. And his first target is going to be ALC Mickey. It's not going to be too hard for him here. ALC has that DRS. He's looking to the inside. Can he complete the move on the Red Bull? Dives down the inside, and he will complete that move. The Red Bull will have to let him go, as Bad Boy also is going to take that opportunity and slide past ALC Mickey in that Red Bull and takes the place. Next target is going to be the next Red Bull of Parkour with Pesci. Look to the inside here. He does look to the inside. He almost loses the back end there. They're going to go wheel to wheel as they head round this corner. And Parkour doing a good job to defend. Pesci with the switchback here. Now has the outside line. Can he hit her with the switchback one more time? She's on those old tires. He has the grip. He has the traction. So he's doing a good job to defend it. But he's going to have the DRS as they head to turn 1. Viva in front does not have that DRS, so he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Does he decide to go into the pit on this one? Parkour now under pressure. Pesci is going to be getting on her, activates his ERS, and is going to get past the Red Bull here. Bad Boy wants to take that opportunity and also get past the Red Bull, as they wasted no time whatsoever. Pesci decides to dive down the inside of Viva there. He gives him the space, a little bit of contact made, and he's now going to have the ERS heading to turn 4. He wants to clear the Aston Martin, who is trying to defend to make sure that his teammate Bad Boy behind can keep close to Pesci. Tests the defensive line. Pesci is going to switch to the inside. Can he complete that move? Viva gives him the space. Wheel to wheel they go. Brilliant move from the Williams, as he now has cleared Viva, who will not make it too hard for his teammate Bad Boy, who gets past in here. IRC off the track there. Parkour was off the track there, and she will definitely be looking for a pit stop now. Same thing as ALC, as the 2 Red Bulls are still out there. Who will be the first to go in? ALC has to go in on this one, because his teammate Parkour on those hard tires has her pit stop window has now been opened. Her pit stop should be coming anytime soon now, so ALC has to go in. They do not want to double stack, so they have to coordinate here. Rusted Bolt going into the pits is going to lose a lot of time after staying out for a long time on those medium tires. As there's yellow flags, is that going to be a safety car? Virtual safety car? Yes, it is. It's a virtual safety car. Is that going to change to a full safety car on this one? As Rusted Bolt definitely is going to take advantage of this. The 2 Mercedes will slide through, but will not go too far considering where they would have been if there was no virtual safety car. Is that going to be a full safety car? No, the safety car isn't out here. As you can see, there's no yellow car out on the grid. Rusted Bolt going for soft tires here. Lucky Rusted Bolt gets the virtual safety car, and he is in a brilliant position here now to get past both the Mercedes drivers who are in no man's land. The Red Bulls have to think of their strategy now. I would have thought that ALC would have gone into the pits on this one. He's still out there on those mediums. And when would they decide to go into the pits? The safety car, as you can see, is not out, so it's just a virtual safety car. It looks like it's going to be ending now because they are speeding up. Let's see, when is it going to be ending? Just watching to see. I'm staying on Parkour's car. I can only see if ALC is going to be going to the pits now. ALC, this is the moment. You have to go in now. Yep, ALC goes in. Viva goes in. They're going to get a little bit of an advantage because they'll be going in the virtual safety car. Drive-through penalty now for BAM for speeding on the virtual safety car. And that's very unfortunate for him, as Merck now is 3 seconds behind Parkour, who definitely has to go into the pits on the next lap. Her teammate extending his pit strategy here might have just compromised her, but he was going for the soft tires, and soft tires are definitely going to work on this one. What tires the Viva go for? Mediums for Viva. Mediums for Viva. Interesting one from him. A 10-second penalty now for speeding to pit lane for Bama. He definitely will be out of this session now. He definitely is going to retire for speeding to pit lane twice and a drive-through penalty. Bam will probably be quitting at this one, and maybe he will have resilience to go to the end, as Merck and Mr. P now are going to be under pressure from Rusted. But behind the safety car is now a full safety car, and Parkour will take full advantage of this. She decided to stay out as long as possible, and that is going to be a full safety car. Brilliant stuff from her, and she now can go into the pit. She's going to come out in P3 for sure. Don't speed into the pit lane. Take it easy. There you go. As Merck will stay out, Mr. P deciding to go in. Merck staying out as the Mercedes didn't want to double stack there, and Rusted Bolt is going to trust his soft tires that he just went on to also stay out in this one. Merck and Rusted Bolt are going to be leading the way. Parkour, Bad Boy, actually everybody else going into the pit on this one. As Viking 4 gets past the Mercedes of Mr. P. Okay, that's interesting. That was just getting past in the pit. So Mr. P slides back in front. And Simon going in for the medium. Different strategy for these drivers, and most on mediums. Waynock going for the softs. And ALC Mickey already on the softs will stay out in P7. Interesting ending to this race we are going to have. We're going to have about 12 to 11 laps of racing in this one. And it's going to be very interesting. I'm just going to get a cup of water because this has been a very exciting one. And my throat is starting to get dry. And I'll be back in a few minutes. We're just going to stick to the leaders and wait for them to join the pack. Alright, so we're back. As you can see, the Alpines of Destroyer drag behind. I didn't know if Bam was. I was watching. I didn't know if Bam was going to catch up to the pack, but he did. So the Alpine of Destroyer drag definitely will be pushing to do so, because the safety car will be coming in at the end of this one. It's going to be on fresh, soft, the best tires right now out of everybody on track. But down in P15, the worst place to be in right now out of everybody on track. He does have multiple drivers in front with the penalty, so he just has to keep close to them to finish in the top 10 in this one. Pesci also has that penalty that he will be trying to look to run away with from the drivers behind, but that's going to be very difficult because all of them are going to be pushing hard, and he's going to have to get past Rusted Bolt and Merck. The safety car is going to be coming into the pit at the end of this one. A little bit of confusion there, but they want to take their time to wait for the safety car to slide in on this one. If you don't want to lose your win or to lose positions because you went too early, as Doug has seen. It happened to Doug in Monza as he lost his win going too early before the safety car did go in. As the safety car is in now, and we'll see when the leader of this race in the Mercedes is going to decide to go. As he's taking his time here, and off he goes. A good start from him. He's not going to be compromised on drivers behind, but the Aston Martin or Bad Boy is already going to slide past Rusted Bolt. Wheel to wheel, they go 3 wide. Unbelievable. Are they going to make contact? A little bit of contact made, but beautiful racing between those three there. As Rusted Bolt has lost the place to Pesci and Bad Boy, who are now going to be putting pressure on Merck in front, who has those old hard tires. Viva was looking to make the move on the Red Bull in front. Nothing doing there as they can keep going. Destroyer Jack already making 2 places down to up to P13. He goes as the race has begun, and begun very quick here. Bad Boy will be looking to the inside, decides not to go for it. We'll be waiting before they head to turn 1. Hazer and Destroyer Jack are now squabbling at the back as Hazer goes wheel to wheel with the Alpine, and he is going to keep the Alpine. Right, boy, he goes for a spin now into the wall. No damage for Hazer, but that is going to be P15. It's going to be a woeful ending of this race for the Williams driver, as the Williams not having the best days as they've had for multiple races in this one. And now Pesci is going to have to try and get as much points as he can for that outfit, as Bad Boy is going to be sliding past the Mercedes of Merck. And would Pesci do the same as he's looking to the inside? He will not dive down the inside, but Bad Boy will defend from the Mercedes, who tries around the outside, but he can't take that place or keep that place in P1. As Pesci now with that DRS is going to try and make it on the Mercedes, who decides to go for the defensive line, switching back to the outside, switches back to the inside as Bad Boy with an abrupt change to the outside line. The Mercedes can't keep him behind. Rusted Bolt on the soft tires that will start to fall off. 6 lap is done on this one as Pesci will be looking to the inside, going to turn 5 and 6. The right-hander as the Mercedes now has lost the place to the Williams, and down to P3 he goes. Paco in a good position here as he can continue to fight. ALC Mickey putting pressure on Viva as he's now in a Red Bull sandwich. A sandwich I believe he started in qualifying, I think so, but Mr. P now in P8, and we have to start looking to make those places. The same thing as Viking Fox, who's just trying to hold on to the pack in front as they will keep going now. A few laps to go in this race as Bad Boy and Pesci will continue their lead of this one. Bad Boy looking like he's going to get the win in this one without that 3-second penalty. He's in the optimal position as Merck on those hard tires is now going to be overtaken on the inside by Rusted Bolt, and he doesn't fight it too hard here because he knows behind is going to be Paco. All the drivers looking to start making those moves. Those medium tires that they're on though will start to fall off compared to and be in the same tire wear as the hands that Merck is going to be on. So a few more laps that he needs to hold them behind as Mr. P gets past Simiki on the outside there. Up to P7 he goes, and his next target is going to be the Aston Martin of Viva, as Paco now still behind the Mercedes of Mr. P. The Mercedes and the Red Bull fighting for their places in constructors P2 and P3 respectively will definitely not be making it easy for themselves here, as Paco now will be looking to overtake the first Mercedes on track, and that's going to be Merck in P4, who will be trying to keep that DRS to the drivers in front so he can defend from Paco behind, who has the traction, who has the energy in her car, stored in her car, and is going to use that DRS and ERS to try and overtake the Mercedes in front. She's going to be gaining on the Mercedes, switching to the outside there. Mercedes taking the defensive line, making a little bit of contact, the two. The Mercedes can't defend from Paco. They're keeping her behind. He will have that DRS one more time here to defend once again. She's definitely going to be going for it as they head to turn 4, and on the inside she's going to take that place from Merck in the Mercedes. Up to P4 she goes, and her race now is recovering perfectly here. She can't finish on the podium, especially does have that 3-second penalty. All she has to do is keep close. Merck decided to stay out on those hard tires. How well will they work when it comes to the end of this one, as Viking Fox now falling out of the DRS of the drivers in front, who will try to get back in now, as they will be squabbling a little bit in front. At ARC Mickey now down to P9, overtaken by Viking Fox on this one. And we'll see exactly how they go. These 4 drivers will be looking to not lose that DRS in front. Paco now 9/10, 1 second behind Rusted Bolt. Will she get the DRS as they head to turn 1? Let's see exactly how it goes. Merck is going to get the DRS, one has to stay close, but does she get it to keep close to Rusted Bolt? Yes, she does. She's going to stay in the DRS of the drivers in front. And that's exactly what she would need. Pesci and Bad Boy still fighting in this one. And here we go now. It's going to be pushing behind Pesci and behind Bad Boy as he heads to turn 4. Easy move on the inside for our championship leader, as Mr. P was looking for the move on the Aston Martin. Nothing doing there. He's going to have to hold it back on Viva. That's 5, 6, and 7 for Merck, Viva, and Mr. P. And can they defend from Viking Fox behind, was now going to join that fight. Merck has fallen out of the DRS of Paco in front, but she's doing a good job to hold on to the front 3, and she can't finish on the podium on this one. Just has to continue a very strong drive. And will Merck now decide to switch places with Viva or Mr. P, who have the stronger tires behind him, to try and keep close to Paco to make sure that he does not fall out of the DRS of Paco in front. And as you can see, that he's still going to be in there on those old hard tires. Gonna have to use a lot of his ERS to keep close to the Red Bull. Same thing that she has to do to make sure that the 3 drivers in front do not run away from her in this one. With 6 laps to go, Pesci with the quickest lap, 109.0 for Pesci in front. Still has that 3-second penalty. They're going to be switching places, Viva and Merck. And now Viva on those medium tires. Does he have the pace to get up to Paco? Exactly what they will need to do here, because he is the one with the fresher tires, as Mr. P now will be getting past his teammates, who will not make it too hard for Mr. P, who also slides past Viva. And now they're doing the smart strategy here. Mr. P out of those 3 might be the one with the pace to catch up to Paco in front, and that's exactly what they will be going for. He now will be pushing to do so, and we'll see exactly how that will work out for them. Paco will be trying not to lose the DRS to the drivers in front. She might not lose it because the soft tires on Rusted Bolt's car will be giving out the opportunity to stay close to him, as Hazer behind causes more yellow flags as his race goes from bad to worse here. And here we go now. Red Bull of Paco behind has that DRS and can stay with the drivers in front. Good racing from her there as the DRS. Viva has it. Bad Boy now will take back the lead of this race. Bolt has the best view of the drivers in front, and he's not looking to make any overtakes on this one, not just yet. Paco is still doing a good job. Can this be her first podium in tier 1, all the way from tier 2? Everyone saying she had to go up. She goes up. She showed that she does have the pace. And will this be her day of reckoning, coming into the podium for the Red Bull driver, who is continuing to help her team to claw closer to the Mercedes, as they are in a very tight squabble for constructors. P2 and P3 in the constructors, with those 2 teams will definitely be going for, as Williams are in a very, very good position in the constructors, but not the best race that they're having now. It's yellow flags for Destroyer Drag, a mistake for him, and Hazer now will take that place from the driver behind. Mr. P doesn't have that pace to catch up to Paco, so it looks like he's going to be settled P5 for the Mercedes. And how well can they defend from Viking Fox and the rest of the drivers behind? Any other moves being made? Arise now right behind Simon. Simon, is he going to have that DRS to defend from the Ferrari behind, as Pesci takes back the lead of this race? They will continue to switch to the end of this one, as we have 3 laps to go. Viva looks to the inside of Mr. P. Nothing doing. 3-second penalty now for Paco and Rusted Bolt and Mr. P and Viva definitely will be thinking about that 3-second penalty to the drivers in front of them. So they'll definitely be pushing out to see if they can get that podium. 10-second penalty at Destroyer, speeds to the pit lane, and that's going to be a retirement for Destroyer Drag. He's out of the session. 3-second penalty now for Simon as the penalties are starting to stack up here. Mr. P and Viva will definitely begin to push here as they will be trying to catch up to Rusted Bolt, and Paco will have that 3-second penalty. Rusted Bolt has fallen out of the DRS of Pesci in front. Pesci does have that 3-second penalty, but it looks like he is still going to get P2 on the podium. They did not have enough to keep close to the drivers in front, and that pressure to keep close to them has gotten them that 3-second penalty. But now Viva and Mr. P and Merck are all going to be thinking about it. The drivers in front with a 3-second penalty. Bakor is going to get past Rusted Bolt here, and Bad Boy is going to do the same, taking the lead of this race with 2 laps to go in this one. Yellow flags at the back caused by the retiring car of Destroyer Drag. Who's going to be your winner here? Looks like Bad Boy in the optimal position, the only driver out of the top 4 that doesn't have a penalty, as Mr. P and Viva are going to be switching places now. They are trying to catch up to the drivers in front with 3-second penalty. Another one for Hazer behind with a few laps to go in this one. They're going to have to push now if they want to get behind those 3 drivers in front, as Paco has gotten past Rusted Bolt. She does have the stronger tires now. She will try to pull away from Rusted Bolt, who has those old soft tires who are going to be falling off way more and more as the laps go on now. As they head to the right hander here, this is where you need the traction. She does have the traction in front of the Visa RB and losing more time now, but as